Brussels a face-to-face meeting with the European Commission president. That's the market reaction and what investors need to be thinking about and pricing in. Joining us now for the political side of the Brexit negotiations is Catherine Barnard, professor of EU law at Cambridge University. Catherine, very good morning to you, and thank you so much for joining us. I just want to start with where we are right now in the state of play and what you think the next 24 hours could bring. We do have Boris Johnson going to Brussels, a face-to-face meeting with the European Commission president. Should this be viewed as a positive to the market, or do you think this is too little, too late for a deal?
No, I do see this as a positive for the market for the simple reason that if there is a deal to be done, Boris Johnson wants to be in Brussels, scene of the action and taking credit for that deal. And so I do think this is a very positive sign, because I think that having a deal Brexit is far better than a no-deal Brexit. For the simple reason, even though any deal will be a very thin one, so zero tariffs, zero quotas, so there'll still be problems on the borders because non-tariff barriers will be in place. But the fact is it will open the way for continued good dialogue between the EU and the UK, and it also may well pave the way for those crucial unrelated issues such as an adequacy agreement on data, and also an equivalent decision on financial services.
Three key issues still remain: fisheries, governance, state of level playing field. These are issues that have remained the entire time, Catherine. What concessions can Johnson give while still maintaining and keeping his backbenchers in line, willing to vote for this deal?
So do remember that Boris Johnson's got a majority of 80, but if there is a deal, Labour will also vote in favour of the deal. And so even though he's got perhaps up to 60 or so ERG members, European Research Group members, who might vote against the deal, with that majority plus Labour's backing, he can get it through the House of Commons, which is crucial. What about those three issues? Yes, you're right. We have been round and round and round the houses on those three issues. But the fact is there hasn't been high-level political engagement with trying to unblock the problems. Up until now, it's been technocratic negotiator level. Michel Barnier's hands are somewhat tied by the mandate that he's been given. It's always been a strength of the EU negotiating side. The Prime Minister doesn't have those same constraints, and so can make some concessions. And the problem is he has got to decide ultimately whether he's prepared to make those concessions, have a deal, and thus soften the economic blow for the UK economy at a time when the coronavirus pandemic is still rampaging across this country.
The other story, of course, is the UK internal market bill. The plan to retreat it. Do you believe that is yet another sign of some softness coming from number 10?
Yes, I think that's right. I mean, it was always clear that those clauses would not be necessary if there was a free trade agreement. And so at one level, it's a concession without substance, because those clauses would not be necessary if there was a free trade deal. I think there was surprise at the highest level in government at the level of backlash against that bill when it first appeared in the start of September, not just from the usual people who you might expect to be opposed, including the Labour opposition, but also from within his own party, particularly in the Lords, the second chamber, where a number of Brexiteer peers were vociferous in their opposition to the bill. And so what he's doing, although the clauses have come back, there will be a game of what's called ping pong as the bill then goes back to the House of Lords. All of this is playing for time to see if there's a deal later this week, or even perhaps, I say it quietly, going into the week after, because in reality the only substantive deadline is the 31st of December. Yes, absolutely, any deal's got to go through the UK Parliament and the European Parliament, but remember the European Parliament has got an emergency session on the 28th of December.
So it sounds like potentially what you're foreshadowing is a working Christmas, Catherine. I want to ask you about what this means for other countries who the UK needs to, of course, establish their own trading deals with. If there wasn't to be a deal, how much leverage those other countries like the United States have on the United Kingdom?
significant leverage, because of course then the UK will be really reliant on those trade deals with the US, with Australia, with New Zealand, to say absolutely we're desperate for a trade deal to show that there is a Brexit dividend. But as we know, and economists repeatedly tell us, gravity matters in international trade, even in this day and age of the internet. And because gravity matters in respect of international trade, our biggest trading partner is and will be the European Union, because the EU is, 25 miles away from the doorstep. That's not the case with the US or Canada. And because gravity matters, we will continue to trade with the EU. It's just that our trade will become much less profitable because there will be tariffs on British goods in the event of a no-deal Brexit. And that's why, for the UK economy, it's really important that there's a trade deal.
All right, thank you so much for joining us this morning. Catherine Barnard, Professor of EU Law at Cambridge University, foreshadowing there a busy